Hello there! I'm sorry I wasn't very active these past few months. I wanted to get this video out sooner, but this semester was just kicking my ass. More on that later if you're really interested, but I'm back now, so let's rewind a few months. I decided it was time for another Fallout 76 video, since it seems we're actually living in the Fallout timeline. Bruh! Last time we left off, I had succeeded in my quest to get a full suit of power armor, and completed part of the original campaign, so I was just chilling for a bit, getting new gear, doing some more quests, and encountering the local wildlife. To which I panicked and ran into a nearby player's camp. Eventually, we were able to beat it with overwhelming firepower, including a buckshot enema. With that out of the way, I tried to repair as much of the camp as possible, considering the colossal debt I owed this guy. After that, well, nothing. At least for a while. I was mostly focusing on school and other videos, and once winter break rolled around, I had a lot of free time on my hands. So, as the new year grew ever closer, I ultimately made it my goal to complete the original campaign before the end of 2024. At this point in the campaign, I was nearly done with the free states. I just had to finish upgrading the scorch detectors and run a couple holotapes around to different characters or terminals, which finally allowed me to move on to the only faction I cared about, the Brotherhood of Steel. But before I made my way to Fort Defiance, I bought a fusion core recharger from the Atomic Shop, which, for a chronic power armor user like myself, is essential. Once I got to Fort Defiance, it turns out that I need to enlist, so it's off to boot camp. At boot camp, I learned all sorts of skills, marksmanship, agility, and the all-important patriotism, before putting it all to the test in a live fire exercise. You can probably do this all in one in-game day. With training done, it was time for the DMV, because of course that survived the apocalypse. And yes, it's just as soul-draining as it is in real life.
Error. Department B is for renewals only. Department C is designated for new IDs. Have a nice day.
Now that I'm registered, the next quest was something that I'd been anticipating for a while. See, back when the game was new and broken, people still made content on it, which included the rewards. So I already knew there was something worth my while at the end of this quest line. Welcome to Atoga, the city of the future, because it's filled with killer robots. If you look to your right, you'll see a Deathclaw and super mutants. If you look to your left, you'll see a Mirelurk Queen and a Scorch Beast. But don't worry, they all hate each other just as much as they hate you.
Oh shit!
My advice, sprint as often as possible to each transponder. After that, sneak through the trenches and sprint again when you need to get out, until you reach the glass cavern. The glass cavern itself wasn't that bad. I even found a pleasant surprise.
What level is it? That's way too good to be true. It's level 30. I can use that.
And that's not even mentioning the amount of ultrasight you can find here. Things were going pretty smoothly, until... But this is where that pleasant surprise comes in. And once again, the Brotherhood proves why they're my favorite.
Shit's level 50, Jesus Christ. There's no missing ultrasight. Wow, okay, I'm really strapped for resources now. Shit, now I can't fucking get it back into my inventory.
While I was sad to put the new suit on hold, it didn't last long as I encountered this guy who offered fusion generator plans for my camp, saving space and providing more power. On to the last faction. I tracked down Sam Blackwell's bunker, dealt with his guard dogs.
Hey bitch. Wait, can you not get up here? Wait, seriously? Where are you? Is there more though? Okay, well fuck. Alright fucker, go on. I'll take you all. Fuck yes, I love this thing.
And got directed to the White Spring bunker. There, I immediately got assigned an errand which, wouldn't you know, involved more tech support.
Last errand.
Once that's done, I had to earn 10 commendations. I figured my best bet was to go after high-level enemies, the most obvious ones being Scorch Beasts. You know, the disease-spreading bats. Now let me remind you that this footage is from before the January 21st update, so not only are these things extremely tanky and mobile to begin with, but back then, their sonic blast attacks were essentially full auto.
Stop fucking spamming that.
Your health evaporated, your screen was shaking and flashbang in your eyes which throws off your aim, and if your volume was too high, your ears would start to hurt. So this is how extroverts felt. It wasn't long before I ran out of ammo and was forced to retreat, but I swore I would have my revenge. I stopped by Watoga so I could farm the enemies to replenish my ammo, went to the Test Your Metal event for the first time, and before I knew it, I'd accidentally completed my commendations when I killed this guy.
You have been promoted. Your new rank is General.
I still wanted to wear my ultraside armor, so I decided to farm Glass Cavern for both XP and the ore.
Oh shit, wait. Level 50. Oh wait, I can finally use the armor now.
I made a pit stop at the White Spring Station and found 2 legendary weapons, Foundation's Vengeance and Boomstick. Seriously, first that power armor torso and now this. What is it with this place? I ran line in the sand several times, and after farming some silver, I was able to repair my new suit. At last, I would finally don my ultraside armor. Well, after my game crashes, cause even now, your game can sometimes crash when you enter power armor, and in my experience, it's especially true when it's inside a power armor station. But don't worry too much, if you log back in, you won't lose any progress or items from this. At least I haven't. I also didn't need my low-level power armor pieces anymore, so I donated them, a concept that does not get enough praise and is probably a factor in why the community is so nice. Now that I'd evolved, there was another matter I had to take care of. I made a promise. I intend to keep it. To celebrate, I enjoyed a relaxing tea time with other players. Hey, I've been doing a lot of side quests. How much time is left? I stated before that I wanted to make this New Year special, but honestly, during those past few days, I was on the fence on whether I was truly committed to it. Plus, I also needed to have time to celebrate with my family. But that is a story for another day. So at this point, I was having some serious doubts that I could complete my goal, and considering if I should just do public events instead. That is, until I joined a team at another tea time event.
Hey, guys, can you guys hear me? I'm gonna take that as a yes. So I'm on the quest, I am become death. Do you guys want to join me in the silo? So is that a yes to the silo quest? Okay then.
This is it. I made my decision, and I was gonna finish this goddamn campaign. I return to the White Spring bunker and immediately start panicking as I get lost looking for the command center while time ticks down to New Year's. After that, I endure the same bullshit at Mama Dolce's to the point where my team left, and I can't even blame them. It was presumptuous on my part, and they probably made the wise decision to stay away from the old campaign. I needed a tutorial just to navigate this place. I should also mention that while looking for a silo code piece, I stumbled into an eviction notice event and got a second Foundation's Vengeance, but me, being an idiot, forgot to record it. I made my final preparations and descended into Site Alpha. And then I spend over 30 minutes stuck in the first section of the bunker because the objectives are vague at best before my game crashed and I lost my progress. To say I was stressing the fuck out would be an understatement. This quest really shows just how poorly designed the old campaign was. Markers don't even update, and on my second attempt I had to watch another tutorial to understand what to do. But if the game itself was the real enemy, that just meant everything in it was cannon fodder, even the Assaultrons. I think there was another player in there too because I heard shots in the distance, and in the control room I found power armor frames just strewn about, but I never found them. Maybe their game crashed or they just gave up, which, yeah, understandable. I fight through the dwindling robots and let the section chiefs do their jobs, replacing each one as needed, and soon enough, it was time for launch. I entered the code, courtesy of Nuka Crypt, link in the description, targeted Fisher Site Prime, and off it went. I immediately went back to my camp to repair my gear and retrieve any other weapon that I'd been saving for the finale, because who doesn't love an excuse to bring out all their best toys? However, I didn't realize how long this little pit stop would take, or just how OP players are in this game. By the time I got there, well... Even though I missed out on most of the fight, I was still satisfied. The rewards were great, my favorite being this ultrasight Gatling laser, not only for its legendary effects, but also because it takes fusion cores as ammo, and remember, I got a fusion core recharger at home. But more than that, I was proud of myself. I wanted to do something and I did it. And with time to spare too. It was 8:44 PM when I finally logged off.
Happy New Year's.
Once again, I'm sorry it took so long. I really did want to get this video out sooner. I sorted out most of my clips and even had a rough draft of the script back in January, but as the work piled on in both university and my job, I instead posted my first short just to get something out there. Anyway, I got a new mic, so I hope I didn't give you too much hearing damage this time. As for why I even bothered with the original Fallout 76 campaign, I figured that if I could survive this game at its worst, then I could fully appreciate all it had to offer at its best. But more than that, thank you all so much for watching if you made it this far. 2024 was a pretty life-changing year for me, so I'm glad I could finally share this with you.